segment of the show for today. We're talking to Dr. Leonard Madu, and he has given us some information over the first two segments dealing with mining companies and environmental pollution in Africa. And it appears from what he has said is that the only entity that tends to suffer in this kind of situation are the people. Dr. Madu, let's continue to talk about some of the problems that, that all of this pollution is having on the population itself.
Yeah, and like I was saying before, they come in, they find oil here, they pitch their tent and start mining without due consideration to the environment. Like I was saying, in this country, large areas of Alaska are off limits for drilling, you know, because people say, no, you can't drill there because a lot of important birds and animals and all this are there. Why? In Africa, no, they won't think like that. Those oil companies would demolish houses without...
Wherever they find oil, they drill.
Find oil, they drill, and the people who own the land and who own the houses are not paid adequately. Now, they will say, oh yeah, we pay compensation. But there's a big difference legally between paying compensation and paying adequate compensation. Yeah, if my house is worth $1 million and you demolish it and pay me $50,000, it's not adequate compensation. Yes, and when the people speak up, oh, they send soldiers to drive them away or get arrested, or you might even be killed. Okay. So it's not regulated the way it's regulated here. And that's what most people in Africa want to see. The way you drill in the United States, the way you drill in Western Europe, that's the way we want you to drill in Africa. You respect the environment and respect the people's land. You know, pay adequate compensation, clean the oil when you spill, not leave it the way it is. Now, to the credit of some of the mining companies, at times they get the local companies to clean, you know, their mess. But those local companies will not clean anything. They get paid, but they leave without cleaning. And the government will not do anything because most of the time they're in cahoot with the government officials or the government itself in order to get some kickbacks. That's a big problem. Most of the old, you know, used computers and all this are dumped in Africa. The residues of oil are dumped in Africa. A few years ago, in 2006, a company called Trafigura, which says is the largest privately owned oil, you know, entity in the world, dumped thousands and thousands of tons of toxic materials in the Ivory Coast, you know, on the shores of Abidjan. Eventually, thousands of people started getting ill, you know, from diseases they don't know about.
Never had before, but all of a sudden everybody's got the same disease.
All of a sudden everybody's getting sick. The people started complaining, the company shut its ear, and eventually it got sued and all that, and they agreed to pay compensation to over 31,000 people who got sick because of it. Why did they allow them to dump it there? No, because some government officials turned their eyes elsewhere, got their own money in their pocket, and let them dump and kill their people. Okay? In Zambia, even now, in Kabwe, a place they call Kabwe, people are getting sick because the water they are using to take a bath, the water they are drinking is contaminated by lead and copper. Okay? And nothing's done about it. Now the Chinese who are coming into Africa, that's another problem. Everybody's saying, oh, Chinese are in Africa now, they are doing so well here and there. They happen to be the worst polluters now in Africa. A lot of places where they are mining and all this, Africans are treated like dogs. Okay? Worse than other you know, countries who have come to Africa to do business. Yeah, they don't care about the environment. They dump things anywhere and abuse their employers. Now, having said that, what do we expect from the African governments? People expect them to hold these companies, these mining companies, accountable for their actions. Okay? These are their people. But what has been obtaining in the past 50 to 60 years is that these companies are what? Laws unto themselves. At times, these companies really control the governments of those countries.
The influence of money and wealth